This 4-game road trip ends in a loss for the Edmonton Oilers, 5-4 at the hands of the San Jose Sharks. Huge win for the Sharks, difficult loss for the Edmonton Oilers, and we're going to break it all down right here on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show, live on location at Boston Pizza 170th. Tom Gazzola and the man, the myth, the legend, Joaquin Gage with you as we encourage you to text us, 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat as well. We want to hear from you, 780-218-9999. That is the number. Once again, Benny Thompson back at EST Global HQ. Let's go with initial reaction. We're seeing a lot of texts already coming in, Joaquin. I don't think surprisingly either about the Oilers and their defensive game, the effort, the performance, the lack of execution. I think we looked at each other a few times in each period and we're like, what was that? Again, starting on time, I think, was an issue. Tommy, the first 10 minutes were all Sharks. A lot of mistakes. Yeah. Just didn't seem to have any jump in their step. Look, if not for, in my opinion, if not for Connor Ingram, this game would have been over within that first period with some of the saves he was making. I can't tell you how disheartening and how much of a soul stealer games like this are for goalies, where you're like, I made some big saves tonight. You did. And I still get a 5 spot and a loss. Yep. That's tough to deal with. Entertaining, yes. Sure. Yeah, sure. And seeing the desire that's put into it late in the game, trailing, trying to get the next goal. But Tommy, why? I mean, I think we've asked this question. That type of desire, everyone goes, where is that at the beginning of the game? Where that's something you wanted to see tonight. Sharpness, right? But the way I wanted to see it is how that translates into the defense, what you do without the puck. Okay. Sure, when you're with the puck, everyone's jumping in, but let's see that intensity, that desire to not let the other team score and do things on the opposite side of the puck, because that's not there, Tommy. They're leaking. They're allowing, even on the game-winning goal, just allowing the Sharks to take top real estate in your own end, in front of the net, screening your goalie. There's not enough pushback. And you said before, what is that, 46 goals? 46 goals in the last 10 games, and that's with a night where you won 8-1. I mean, I used to do that in 3, but the Oilers can't be doing that. No, in their last 10 games, 46 goals allowed. And that includes, like I said, the Thursday night 8-1 thumping in LA. And man, oh man, you're right. When you were describing that, Joaquin, in the last couple minutes, what stood out to me was the Alex Wenberg goal. Yeah. Yep. And we saw Stastny, Benny saying too. Stastny and Amberson kind of waving their sticks. Two guys below the goal line. I like their game. I've liked their game up to this point. I thought, but that's a problem. Yes. That's the mistake they make, and it's costly. Then at that point, then they get in that in between. Well, what do we do here? You know, they always say, "Oh, force them out on your backhand." Look, guys can pass on their backhand in the NHL too. It's not, but the decision making in the defensive zone needs to be quicker, needs to be sharper. And when you see the Oilers playing well, it's not only just one guy making decisions quick, it's the other 4 guys or 3 guys on the PK. You could say the same thing, is they're reading off that first play. And, you know, like Will Hernan does a great job on EST Afternoons having his breakdowns of plays and highlights, lowlights. And half the time you always see, what do you see of the Oilers' heads? Just puck focus. There's no anticipation. Okay, the puck's there, I have to be there. There's not a lot of, they're not synced on the defensive side. And I think by just someone making a decision and going might make things a little bit clearer. But this is a team that's leaking goals. They're not confident defensively.
So then you all of a sudden you start to get tentative. Your decision making is, ooh, do I go? Do I not go?
Yeah.
Just go. Just, it's I've heard the coffee effect. It's decaffeinated at this point.
Got the orange lid. Benny.
Yeah,
That's for all the coffee drinkers out there. The old plastic pot, orange meant caffeine free, decaffeinated. Sorry, old man joke.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Benny.
This game reminded me a decent amount of the Anaheim game. High flying. If you want to take a positive out of these past 3 games, the Oilers' offense is doing pretty well. 4 goals today. 8 game before. 4 the game before that, I believe. That's the stat.
But they still lost.
But they're 1-2. But they're 1-2 in those 3 games, and their defense can't save them. Like the perfect example, Tom, is the goal you brought up, the Wenberg goal. The fact that you can allow someone to sit in front of your net and not be picked up for an extended period there. Like, it was not like a high flying play and he snuck behind a guy. Like, he was there for a solid 5 seconds. No one picked him up. Just let him sit there. And it ends up scoring against you. Yeah, this was, again, another just puzzling. Like, how do you play that poorly defensively? You got some guys in the back end that are not being great defensively right now. Jake Wallman on that, what was it, the second goal? Tries to get Ingram to cover it. Instead, pushes it out of his way, and Misa scores.
Do you think he even tried to get Ingram to cover it, or do you think he flubbed that in tight?
I was wondering the same thing.
When I watched it, I thought he was trying to push it to Ingram, but maybe he flubbed it. But yeah, I can't believe this is. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say that. I can't believe it because this has been the defensive effort we've seen all year. This shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. It's the defense has struggled all year for the Oilers, and even when their offense is going, sometimes games like these happen where their defense can't even bail them out of it. So yeah, it's ridiculously frustrating to watch. Like, it's just like, what do you? Yeah, I don't know. Coffee again. I don't know how much of a help he will be on that bench, but
a lot of goals against.
It's 3 games, but honestly, in a few weeks we could be saying too little, too late, right?
Yeah.
Or the expectation versus the reality of what could be done. I think there will be a realization there.
Is that what it takes, though, Tommy? Is that like I was thinking about that?
I hope not, but
when does the panic button really get pushed? Because it wasn't pushed at the start of this game. It wasn't. It was wading into the waters. That first 10 minutes, that should have been a high octane game.
Go.
Just everything on both sides. And the fact that you completely wasted a goaltending performance from Ingram, he was sharp, man. That was, again, like I said, that should have been after that first period, probably 4-5-1 with some of the saves. And it's NHL goaltending, but you're leaking those types of chances. That's just very disheartening. And then you see probably the next 10 minutes in the first, the start of the second, it looked like 2 teams that were kind of still feeling each other out.
Yep.
And then it opened up again. That's when you really want to shut things down as the Oilers. And then the third period is just, well, it's last goal wins again. And that's not how you win. That's not how you win in the regular season. You might win a couple here. It's definitely not how you win in the playoffs because everything all of a sudden tightens up. It's a puzzling team right now.
I just don't think that they have the personnel to elevate to that level or even to execute, like you were saying pregame, sharp passes, simple plays, make the 10-footer, get that done, headman the puck, simple, smart, efficient.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen enough with this group.
Look, we've been spoiled by some really good hockey over the past few weeks watching the Olympics. But when you watch the Americans, you watch the Canadians, hockey reverts to its simplest form. You get their top guys chipping and charging, right? It's puzzling how when the best players, the elite play, it becomes a simplified game. And that's what creates such good hockey, where maybe it's everyone trying to do a little bit too much. I don't know, but everything has to simplify. Like Oilers D-men still in the latter part of that first period had to make a 60-foot pass to hit one of their forwards. You know, like that.
Yes.
Where's the support coming down? It's puzzling to me. And you, again tonight, with every kind of shot you saw with Knobloch, there was he was uncomfortable.
You're not liking that body language.
No, he's like, I think of the biting of the lip a couple times, and he's ready to explode here. So even it's wearing on the coaches to this point.
Gager, I want to be as impartial and down the line as I can be. I really, I'll be honest, I'll come clean. Like, I want to see Chris Knobloch succeed. I think he's a smart guy. I think the players like him. I think he knows how to push the buttons. I get the sense that a lot of what we see publicly and in his press conferences is his way of keeping the attention off of the group, deflecting, if you will. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm kind of rooting for him, and I think he's been put behind the 8 ball here, and I really think he's been given a shit deal. I'm just going to say it, and I'm disappointed to see that we're picking up on body language right now. Maybe we're reading too much into it, but we've been around a long time. You've played for so many coaches. You've seen these scenarios play out.
Tommy,
I don't like where it's going.
Even for someone that maybe doesn't watch but has seen games, you can't tell me that Nava doesn't look a little bit different on the bench right now.
100%.
Even for maybe the casual viewers, like, oh, that guy looks a little bit different.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's been multiple changes now. They've somehow, the goaltending's been, it's not fixed, but I think you have a bona fide number one guy in Ingram. And the fact that this team, that side of the game is fixed, but you still aren't competing and executing at an elite level, a level that will win, like get you, a playoff caliber level of defense that you can win a 2-1 game. Like, I really don't think that's in the Edmonton Oilers right now. And it was funny because we had Bruce Boudreau on after the Anaheim loss, and what do the Oilers need right now? And the one word, or maybe 2 words that he said, I don't know if you can put it in one word, but it's buy-in. And the team has to buy into playing defensively and maybe winning a game 2-1. And if I remember correctly, it was 2 years ago when the Oilers were playing, and it's a lot of the same guys that were on that team.
Yep.
When it was a tie game, up a goal, down a goal, you never really felt like the game was out of reach or in trouble. They looked comfortable. You knew the Oilers were going to pull this out because they were so good in those low-scoring 1-goal games where they would find a way, and if they got the lead, they would lock it down. And that's concerning. That's really concerning against a young San Jose team that, they're scrappy. They've lost a bunch in a row right now.
Yes.
They're looking to win a game, but you've also have guys that have been in the league for over 10 years. You know what happens when teams are losing. You know what kind of effort that they're going to put forth. It's going to be a full 60-minuter. The fact that the Oilers can't put 60 minutes together, and there's going to be ebbs and flows, but you can't play 30 or 25 and expect to win, especially with teams fighting for playoff spots.
And then San Jose is hungry to stay alive in the playoff race, and they did that today. I just did a quick check. I went through all the game logs from the season. Edmonton, you mentioned the 2-1 game and how, you got to win some of those. They've only had 3 of them all year, and they're 1-2 in 2-1 games this season. I know there was like 1-0 games. There was a 2-0 game in there that they won. But in 60 games, was that 61? 60, just 3 2-1 games and maybe 5 that were around that mark. All right, 780-218-9999. We want to get to a bunch of your texts following tonight's 5-4 Oilers loss in San Jose. We are at Boston Pizza, 170th. It's been a great time. Lots of nasties showed up today. Fantastic afternoon. Joaquin made a good point. The sun's coming through, and it's nice. It's 5 o'clock. Yeah, it's a refreshing feeling, and maybe a bit of a silver lining to what was a disappointing afternoon for the Edmonton Oilers. Benny Thompson back at our EST Global HQ. And of course, the Oil Stream post-game show presented by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. And I'm going to go to Brian Swain's stat for the night. He always digs up some stats from us or for us and passes them our way. So he has a few here, actually. And we're going to start with this one. Bouchard, 6 goals, 15 assists in his last 10 games, is the 11th defenseman in NHL history with more than 20 points in a 10-game span. The others, Paul Coffey, Mark Howe, Al Iafredi, Roman Josi, Eric Carlson, Al McInnes, Reg Noble.
Oh, Reggie.
Oh, Reggie. Bobby Orr, Denny Potvin, and Ian Turnbull. Josi and Carlson are the only other two to do it since 1992. And then Swainer says from 96-97 to 24-25, the Oilers had one 10-game stretch of allowing more than 45 goals. They've had 2 this season. 47 allowed from November 8th to November 25th. Yikes. And we were saying it back then. And then now 46 from January 22nd to February 28th. Double yikes. That's not a good indicator.
No. Yeah, because
read that one, Gage. That's the little follow-up from
2 shirts and 2 different goals. Yeah.
Notable that those 2 stretches had 2 different goalie duels.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, okay. So, but let's look at the positives of tonight. There was some resolve to get back in that game, right? They could have pitched their tent and said, "Let's get home." Last game out of a road trip. Blah blah blah. They finished the game. I thought Ingram was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's terrible that he has to take the L on this one. Trent Frederick, the play of Matt Savoy. Savoy's these last 3 games is a turning point for Matt Savoy, I think, where you go down to the minors. I believe they said in the broadcast he didn't feel well, but he gets back up, and sometimes it wasn't a kick in the butt. It was just go down there so you can keep playing. But he's taken this as, I never want to see a minor league game again. And you probably won't see him do that. There's something to a young player when they get to the NHL. Yes, yeah, I'm in the NHL, but there's a realization that, yes, I'm an everyday NHL player as well. And I think this is what we've seen from Matt Savoy. So it's a rough diamond, and we were talking what type of player is he turning into? And we're looking at some pretty good players from what we've seen so far. So those are 3 really good things that's happened in this road trip. But they're going to need more on the defensive side, Tommy. And I don't, like you said, we were talking about practice. And it was a day off yesterday.
Yeah.
Is it a day off tomorrow? I'm from the old school of working on things, and because they look disjointed at times, especially in the defensive zone. I know it's hard in the NHL, and I know the schedule sucks, but I don't see how you can't have a 20 to 30-minute practice to work on some defensive positioning where you're not taxing everyone too much, but at least you know what it kind of looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one thing, and I know they've leaned heavily, and the Oilers are not the only team. Every team's dealing with scheduling. The trend has gone towards video and do those sessions, and it feels like that has kind of replaced physically going on the ice and seeing it live and in action, albeit in practice. But maybe it has, in general, and this might not be all teams, but it seems like in general has gone way too much on the video side. It's like, okay, guys, this is what we want to do. This is our strategy. We're not going to the rink today. We're not going to be on the ice. But to actually be on the ice and see it, like you can physically visualize it, it might start trending back in that direction. Because you hear so much being supplemented by video, and it's like, that's different.
this morning I woke up at like 6 and my house was like at 10 degrees. I was like, what's going on? And the furnace was going, but I didn't know. And I watched a video on YouTube to try to figure out what was going on. And I kind of did something and I went back to bed and it didn't work. But it was only after I did it a couple times I thought, oh, okay, I have to do this, I have to do that. Like you have to actually do something to learn how to do it. You can watch the videos as much as possible. But now my house is, the normal 20.5 degrees because
very cozy.
I had to go through some steps of doing something to figure out how to fix the problem. But I couldn't just watch it on a two-dimensional screen. You have to actually, I would say that most hockey players, I hate the iPads on the bench. I think they're ridiculous. That should be saved for in the dressing room and looking it over then. That's like stay focused in the game itself. But you got to see, I think most hockey players are visual, especially goaltenders. Like everything is visual. I don't know. Maybe I'm just old and crotchety.
Here's an old term that I don't think we hear as much as we used to: muscle memory.
Yeah, exactly. This guy goes there, I go there, right?
Yeah. You see it, you feel it, experience it. McLovin texting in via the inbox, 780-218-9999 says they had 2 weeks to practice. What are you saying right now? Yes. They had the 2 weeks. They came back on the 17th, I believe, was the first day back of practices. And then their first game back was the 25th. So really that's a week.
Yeah.
And they had a couple of days off sprinkled in there. And if you listen, McLovin, I know exactly what you mean. I'm not disagreeing with you, but a lot of the guys weren't there. They had sent guys down to Bakersfield who were playing. And then they had a couple guys that were in the Olympics. So
it's not just you're constantly adjusting too, right? So, okay, you're watching this game, you're playing this game. They play a certain way. You're changing things, not drastically, but there's little tweaks that you do that if you're just doing them on the iPad, I don't know, Tommy. It's whatever it is, it's not working.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah. That's fair.
I'm not a coach. I couldn't tell you what the actual fix is, but from what I see, there's no intensity when they do not have I shouldn't say no intensity. That's wrong for me to say, but the way that they play defense, it's not 5 guys defending. And it's a lot of puck watching and waiting to see what other guys do.
I'll just say it. The issue is the personnel isn't good enough, as well as maybe lack of practice, maybe cohesion, maybe the intensity. I'm sure there's some combination and percentage of each. But to me, Gage, you're looking at this group on paper, on the ice, the players aren't good enough, sadly.
Yeah, are they not good enough, Tommy, or is there is it an unwillingness to look like you made a big mistake? Like, again,
we're talking about tentativeness, essentially.
There's just no jump in their step. There's no, I looked on the other side, and the San Jose Sharks defensemen, they made some mistakes, but their decision making was quick in the defensive zone. They went to a guy. It might have been the wrong guy, but there was decisions made. It's just total layoff, and hopefully we can get the puck back at some point. It's just not good enough. It's very tough for me to watch. Probably because as an old goalie, you're sitting there watching your team do these things, and it's driving you nuts because look at the good chances that the San Jose Sharks had tonight. That can't. You're not going to win allowing that many chances. It's just ridiculous.
A lot of people bringing up Darnell Nurse's name, and listen, we're not going to let him off the hook. He's had a rough season, a very busy, 24 to 36 hours. Very busy, young family, a new rival, all that stuff. Certainly that would not help him today with the legs and being on top of things when you're basically going on adrenaline, I would assume. So he, among others, on the back end struggled. So we'll acknowledge that because I've seen a lot of nurse this, nurse that, get rid of nurse. Yes, we get it. The Wolf texting in. Wolf was here with his wife. Great to see them. Says, shout out to my wife for letting me come to the watch party on my last day at home before leaving for a week. My wife only lets me put it up to 18.5 when I'm cold on a temperature gauge. But I agree. More practical, less theoretical in regard to practice and visualizing. We've had people texting in about Bob's comment about internal changes in his second intermission segment with Gene. I checked in on that. The interpretation I was given from someone in Hockey Ops was that player movement, cap stuff, and something in terms of a decision on Janmark and what's going to happen with him. We'll see if there's anything else, but that was the thing I was told this afternoon, just passing it along to you. How you interpret that is up to you. You can yell at me in the week. I don't care. I've heard it all. Hockey Twitter, hockey everything lately has been an absolute war zone. Benny Thompson, you got anything?
Just to me, there's still a positive that I feel like we haven't talked a whole lot about today. I almost gave him player of the game last game. I had to change it off him. His first goal since November 20th. Trent Frederick. This has probably been his best 3-game stretch of the year. So if we're wanting to take positives away from this, I think, yes, Savoy. I think he benefited from a break. I know he went down to play in the AHL, but kind of just a good reset, look back on what he's played so far in the NHL and see where he can kind of feel more comfortable, and it looks like he has. But Frederick as well. I don't know what the break did for him. Maybe it was mentally. Maybe he's still dealing with that ankle and it just gave him some rest. Whatever it was, he looks like he's building up to being the guy that he was originally signed here for. Still, obviously, a whole lot more of a season to go and still more room for him to grow. I still don't think he's the right player that I think all of us were hoping he would be, but a positive sign from Trent Frederick. Scores a goal today. It's been following him around the past couple of games, so good to see him finally get on the board. November 20th.
Good point. Good point. I feel like a lot of people pointed out that he put the puck in the net twice.
He's trying to get 2 goals.
SJ not in the Kootenay says, what are you talking about? Nurse didn't even go to the berth. I don't follow their Instagram, you guys. I don't care. So I'm assuming it was busy. So SJ not in the Kootenays, I'm sorry if I touched a nerve for giving him credit for whatever he's gone through dealing with the birth of another child. I didn't know he wasn't there. I don't follow these guys like they're my best friends or anything. I don't care. So I apologize. But if I'm going to correct myself, I'm sure it was still stressful. I don't know what the birth of a child is like either.
It's awful.
It's loud in here. We're talking to the nasties.
Yeah. No, Bob said it was been a whirlwind couple days.
Yeah.
We assumed he was home for the birth of his child.
And SJ and the Kootenays, I'm assuming you sent that text in with a yelling tone, and I kind of laughed when I read it. I was like,
that's good.
Okay. But listen, guys, I don't care what the Wags do. I don't care what they do on their social media. I don't care where they go on vacation. I just care if they're at the rink or not. Did they go through something, Kay, tell me. But I'm sorry, I didn't track Darnell's flights, lack of flights, how his wife is doing.
You didn't have him on flight tracker.
No, I didn't. I apologize. That's on me. How do you even follow this team, Tom?
Oh, man.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Pizza Boy. Texting in says, guys, who's responsible for making sure the team comes out with energy and focus to start the game when it's almost every game for years? Does there not need to be some sort of conscious decision to do something differently? Pizza Boy signing off on that one. Oh, man, Pizza Boy, we have discussed that issue so many times with so many different coaching staffs, different GMs, presidents. It has been a recurring theme. I don't know if we've come up with a conclusive answer, one definitive answer.
I don't think you'll see it, Tommy, until if the Edmonton Oilers find themselves from the outside looking into a playoff spot. That's when you'll see them start on time. I think they still kind of look and go, hey, we're still in a good spot here. You know, I think they were second place in the Pacific start tonight.
Yep.
Right?
No, they were third.
Oh, they
fell back. Yeah.
Fell back.
Yeah, Anaheim won last night.
Anaheim won yesterday.
Yep.
Okay, so I looked before. So, yeah, they're still in the top three. They play Anaheim first. They don't care. I don't think if you were to ask the Edmonton Oilers, do they really care about home ice? I don't think they do. But if they find themselves, you know, all of a sudden looking down the barrel of a gun, possibly playing the Colorado Avalanche, which I would love to see anyways, in the first round, you might see a little bit more jump and a little bit more cohesiveness in the defensive zone to not allow goals. Because you're getting to the point of the season, Tommy, where you can't say for the Edmonton Oilers because it's just a different type of game. But,
yeah.
I mean, what was the score of the gold medal game in the
2-1.
Olympics? When you get down to it, everything just tightens right up. The amount of space and time just completely changes. And the 5-4 games do not happen.
Thank you, Tony.
They just don't happen. Thanks, buddy.
There you go. Tony Hughes, VP Westgate, 170th. Great stuff. Sorry.
No, it's okay. You just you might as well start making those adjustments now. You're playing 20 minutes a night. Make sure that you like that mindset of every shift being your last, you know, and you just don't see that yet from the Edmonton. Still just kind of feeling it out. How's this going to go? Like, how much effort do I have to exert to win this hockey game instead of imposing your will on other teams? Because we see what happens when they do. They're a juggernaut.
Yeah. I like when teams are capable of dictating the pace, imposing their will, taking the game, not waiting into the game. To me, those are signs of good squads.
And other teams are going to push back.
Of course.
You're going to be on your heels for a bit.
Yep.
But what do you do in that time, in that, whatever, maybe it's a 5 or 6 minute stretch, all of a sudden the other team starts pushing. It's your counter-punching ability to get back. You know, all of a sudden you can, your good, sound defensive structure, making good plays that might create chances for counter-punching opportunities.
I'm going to cherry pick this from the nasty chat. It's from Derek Aubry. I think it's in response to a chat a little bit before, but the theme, I think, stands, and it is true for the Oilers right now as a whole. It says, don't kid yourself, this is the playoffs now. I 100% agree.
Oh, yes.
You're in it. You're in the crap right now, and you got to make it work. Otherwise, this is going to end badly in a hurry. And games like this, you need to win. You're losing in regulation, a team that you could have pushed even further behind you, regained positioning, 2 second place in the Pacific Division. This is a pivotal loss.
You know what those guys are doing?
Yeah.
Like the San Jose Sharks are doing right now? Like they're looking, okay, wait a second. So they're playing who? We got the 2 points. We've moved up. Okay, they're looking to where they're situated right now.
Yeah.
You know, that's what happens after. Yeah, you automatically start looking at the standings and scoreboard.
I'm doing that right now.
Yeah.
And then Joaquin, as of right now, with that win, that's 60 points for the Sharks. They snapped that losing skid, and that brings them to within 3 of the Kraken. Now, the Kraken, I think, are in action tonight. Just double-checking here. We've got a busy slate, 13 games on the schedule, and Seattle is the late game against Vancouver at home at Climate Pledge Arena. So that's huge for San Jose.
Yeah, massive.
And then that game tonight is important as well, like you said.
And you can't tell me they're kind of going to look down up the I-5 and have a look and see how that game's going.
Absolutely, they will. All right, keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999. We do have some interviews ready to go. Before we do, I laughed at a couple of things, too. I appreciate some of the nasty chat. Petter's Pancake says, I like offensive Tommy. Seeing everyone just lose their minds over dumb is comical. Everyone's a little touchy right now in the hockey world.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to just like stay out of it. Matt Hyman says, that's not good enough. Dig the in. I apologize. I will follow every single player's girlfriend, wife, family member, dog account, and I will make sure I know where they are at all times. Not at all creepy or weird or something that I give two about.
I love Hyman. He's an honest hockey player, but I didn't like what he did tonight. Like chasing I got hit in the mouth. Like,
you need a goal.
Refocus. He's not going to call a penalty now. Like
that was a penalty. It was a missed call. But they need you to.
But you're already
up
to like you're. I don't know. Just focus.
Yeah.
Focus.
Yeah. All right, Benny. I'll let you pick where we go next. Let us know who you want to hear from as we go into the Oilers locker room after the 5-4 loss in San Jose.
Let's hear from guy that's not afraid to say it's on his mind, Leon Draisaitl. Here's Draisaitl from the locker room tonight.
This game this afternoon.
I don't know. I don't know. It sounds like a broken record, but just giving up too many goals. It's hard to score 5-6 goals every night. So, yeah.
Defensively, what is it that needs to be cleaned up? If you are kind of sounding like a broken record there.
Just the details of it, staying above and odd man rushes, and a lot of stuff coming off of our sticks ourselves, and got to clean that up.
It seems like it's everybody, right? It's your best players, it's your fourth line players, it's not just one group, it's not just the defensemen. Is it difficult to fix when some of your leaders are making poor plays out there?
Yeah, it is. It is everybody for sure. I think everyone is, making the wrong reads right now, and maybe a little bit of, fragile on our decision making. So, got to find a way to fix it.
We're 60 games in here. We talked in Calgary about this. It's time now to do this thing. You guys scored 17 goals on this road trip. You go 1 for 3. When does it start? You've had this conversation, I'm sure. How do you get it to set in and kick in?
I don't know. You just have to do it.
Yeah. It sounds like a guy at wit's end there.
Yeah.
Fragile, and it's on our sticks. Those comments right before the last question from Spec there, I think that was the most telling. There's no more answer. He doesn't have an answer. It's a bad indicator right now at this time of year. That's going in the wrong direction. That's what I picked up out of that. What did you get out of that, Gager?
It's always very difficult after the games. You're so wound up and emotional, right? So Leon can't think straight at that point because he's mad they lost. But I mean, it seems like an easy fix. It's a more detailed. He said it. It's the devil's in the details. A structured defensive system. They have to. That we hear that term puck management. If you don't have something, then you have to manage the puck in a case that's not going to hurt you, right? And I look back at the cohesiveness of the transportation of the puck from D to forwards, and that gap is lengthening so far. And I think because in their minds they're down a couple goals and they have to start taking chances. They have to be comfortable in those 0-0 games, but not wading into them. There has to be an intensity level that the mindset has to change, where if we get a chance, we're going to bury it. But we're not going to allow Macklin Celebrini to have 3 shots from the slot either. We're going to keep guys to the outside. We're not going to allow guys to just skate in and stop in front of our goalie 2 feet out and receive passes. I mean, who's the most that goal? Who's the most dangerous person on the ice? Not the guy with the puck behind the net. It's the guy standing alone in front. Yeah. And then you have 5 guys looking at what's the guy behind. No, you have to recognize where the danger is, and that's there has to be a switch or something flicked that adds that intensity from the offensive side of the game to the defensive side of the game. And I don't know I don't know what that is, Tommy.
In game 61, I'm looking at it going, you know what? You're probably not finding it. You're probably not finding it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be negative Nancy here, but you're probably not finding it at this point in the season. Maybe you mitigate or cover some holes other ways. But
yeah. I think you can find it.
I hope you're right, and I hope I'm wrong.
But
Seriously.
again, it's that buy-in factor that, you know what, we don't have to score 4 or 5 every game. We can win games 3-2, 2-1, but that has to be a buy-in on every from every player, and that's the big gut dogs, and that's your fourth liners. That's a commitment to making sure our D can stand up. We're not allowing odd man rushes. Like, how many odd man rushes were tonight?
A lot, especially early and then even in the third period. And I thought the Oilers had a good middle frame.
And that comes from puck management and trying to do too much with the puck and not keeping it moving forward or putting it into an area where we're not going to allow the team to get a sniff.
Fair point. Benny, I'm curious, like, your thoughts coming out of what Joaquin and I were talking about and then hearing what Leon Draisaitl had to say, kind of body language, maybe you picked up on some things as well.
Yeah, I mean, the body language of Draisaitl, especially in that interview, is not surprising. It's been pretty typical, pissed off when he loses.
Yeah.
This is kind of the demeanor he has. The fact that it's like you were saying, Joaquin, the least dangerous guy on the ice there is the guy behind the net, yet everyone's focused on him and leaving the guy that's most dangerous in front of the net wide open. But it's been the same story all year. And with, like I've been saying, the top 4 of this Oilers D-core, Ekholm, Bouchard, Wallman, and Nurse. The only guy that is safe in his own end is Mattias Ekholm, and even then, Father Time is catching up to him. Those are problematic defensemen that can have massive brain farts in their own end. We saw a bunch of it from mainly that Wallman-Nurse pair today.
Yes.
I believe Bouchard has taken a solid turn after around the 25-30 game mark this year, and he has lowered the amount of gas in his own end. Still not perfect, but better. And to me, you have the deadline next Friday. I don't think OEL fixes it. I don't think Justin Falk fixes it. I don't think Connor Murphy fixes it. That's the defense you have made. If you're a Stan Bowman, this is the defense you put together. You extended some of these guys. You have put time and money and traded assets for these guys, and this is the decor you chose to have on your team. And right now, you are seeing the downside of having some problematic defensemen in your top 4. So, to me, I don't know if there's a saving grace for them. I don't think there's a trade that's going to do it. I don't think it's hiring a Paul Coffey that's going to do it. I think they're doomed for this style of play. Could they turn it around and kind of make it not as bad and have them outscore their chances? Sure, but to me that doesn't scream a contender. A team that, is destined to win a Stanley Cup. Sounds a lot like the young Edmonton Oilers that were just becoming, Connor McDavid's just breaking in the NHL and all that. So, yeah, I don't know if this is the decor for a Stanley Cup run. I hope I'm wrong, but this is just what we're seeing right now. It's not looking good.
Benny, that's fair what you said. In their 2 losses this week, they've scored 9 goals in those games.
Yeah. So
Rob from LA, kind of adding to that, says, anyone who thinks trading for one defenseman will fix the team defense problem is insane. And Rob from LA is right. And if you want to look at it from a positive point of view, if you do make a trade for one defenseman because they're limited with their cap space, we looked at their cap space. Tony was looking at it. They have $12,000 as of today.
Yeah.
Right, and we're going to hear about Janmark probably tomorrow, and we're going to get some other call-ups announced and stuff like that. I think that's what Stoff was alluding to. At least that's what I was told from people within the organization after he said that during the second intermission. We'll see if there's anything else. But I would say if you're looking at it from a positive standpoint and you do go get a defenseman and he's better than the guys that you have or some of the guys you have on the back end right now, that's a step in the right direction, and that's a positive look at it.
Yeah. I'm
not saying fixing everything was just like,
again,
yeah, that's better.
I think it just comes down to buy-in, Tommy. You have to.
You've said that a lot tonight.
And that's what it is. It's the willingness to play without the puck, and I don't think it's there. I don't see it on a regular basis. That there's the tenaciousness that some of the Oilers have with the puck is a complete 180 when they don't have the puck and kind of looking to see what happens. Evan Bouchard, there are some guys on this team that are having phenomenal offensive seasons, just unbelievable. Yep. And I just don't understand why that intensity. You look at the Bouchard goal, the way he can read that play and get into a spot to score that goal. Mm-hmm. Why can't that translate into reading the play on the defensive side, realizing and go, oh, that's where that danger is coming. I have to make sure I get that.
If you can have that instinct offensively, why can't
you have that defensively too?
Yeah, that's frustrating.
It's weird that doesn't translate like that. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's a willingness, I think, but I always look at guys' head movements because that's, to me, it's a really good judge of especially goalies, when they're engaged in the game. They're looking around, seeing where everything is. You watch the Edmonton Oilers power play, and you look at the head movement. Everyone's looking to where everyone else is all the time. All of a sudden, the puck gets in their own zone, and that puck is sexy as hell. I realize it. But you got to kind of look around sometimes, too. They just get completely tunnel vision, and the blinders get put on. But that offensive instinct has to translate on the defensive side, because then, again, you become a juggernaut being able to read plays, because then other guy, and that's one of the, 2 years ago with that unbelievable penalty kill. They were so good at reading off. That guy was going, I'm here, I'm there. They were they defended in
layers. You'd see that.
The anticipation that they had and reading the play. And now it seems like they're a little timid, and I think there's a little bit of, you know what, I'm fine. And there was a great example, and I hate to narrow it down, but Darnell Nurse had a guy in front, and he was, I know what he was thinking. I got my guy, I'm fine, but the puck's just right behind you. You still got to realize where things are. All he had to do was turn there, and the San Jose Sharks don't score that goal. But it was just that, I'm good. I don't have to do anything else. No, that's not the type of attitude you want from a defenseman or a forward on a defensive structure.
Shaggy in St. Albert says defense is hard. Yep.
But everyone can play it.
That's right. All right, Benny, let's do one more interview. Which one do you think is better to go to? We got a couple options here.
Darnell. I've seen some chat about Darnell Nurse's interview.
Okay.
So we'll go to that. Here's Darnell Nurse from the locker room.
Game this afternoon.
It's tough to outscore, 5-6 goals. So, we've been talking about goals against. We had to find a way to do it.
Leon said that, it feels like he's broken record. The fact that you got to tighten things up defensively. What do you need to see different?
It's limiting chances, making the chances that our goalies do see consistent and not in the heart. So those are the things that we can control and be better in those areas.
It's some of your best players that are making mistakes tonight. One of the goals, Nugent Hopkins and Hyman are leaving a guy in front of the net. McDavid gives a puck away on maybe the fourth goal. Your game wasn't great. When the guys wearing A's and C's aren't doing it, how's the rest of the team supposed to do it?
Well, it's it starts with us, starts with the leaders, and goes from there. I think, throughout our lineup, there's some guys that stepped up and made some really good plays tonight. And like you said, there's too many mistakes from too many of us.
What about your game? How's your game going? It looked like you fought it tonight.
Good analysis. Yeah.
Well, my point would be, it always takes, when a team's having a hard time, it takes the guys wearing the letters, the best players, to get you out of this thing. Mm-hmm. And tonight, we didn't see that. The best guys were the ones making the mistakes. Does that have to change before you can get out of this thing?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay.
Good analysis.
Yeah, just leave it there.
Yeah.
I'm just leaving it there.
Yeah.
Can I say this? Nurse said he wants to keep the type of shots that he let the goalies see consistent. Well, I would say that they have been consistent. It's just their grade A looks. Consistent grade A looks that they're giving up.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe they are doing what they want to do. Yeah, that's a spec went at him there. Oh boy.
Listen, man. Love him, hate him.
Yeah.
He's there. He's got to ask the question. He's got to write something, and this team did not play great tonight.
It'll be an interesting article from Spec.
I look forward to reading it.
He's already generated probably a lot of clicks to reminders for that next article.
Never a dull moment in oil country. All right, 780-218-9999. Get into the Nasty Chat. Nasty Chat's been doing his thing all evening long, which has been great. We appreciate it. Of course, the oil stream presented by GCL Diesel, Jason and Leduc. He's chiding, but it's funny. At this point, I hope they miss the playoffs because I want Bowman gone, but Nobbs would probably be the one falling on the sword. It's always easiest to get rid of the coach, and this, but Joaquin, listen, I hope it doesn't get to that point. I just take it day by day, whatever. But if it does happen, that 3-year extension looks so bad on not just management, but the ownership. And it's like, what are you guys doing if it gets to that point? And that's a huge if, okay, guys?
Yeah, no. We talked about it in the pregame show, Tommy, the whole goaltending situation. It's not a good look. It's not a good look that, well, it looks good. Ingram's playing well, first of all. He looks good to me. I love the way he plays, Tommy, actually. He's a fantastic goaltender. But it's a bad look on management. And you said it. What's the first thing to go when teams are struggling? It's the coach. And we've seen a guy who's stoic, and basically you have to check if he has a pulse half the time to looking angry on the bench, and what I say, even flushed a little bit.
You said the lip biting, and we saw him get animated in the
Anaheim game. Goalie with 10 minutes left in the third is an anger move by a coach.
Yeah.
It's funny because they're still third in the Pacific, but that's what success comes when you do have success. The standards are so much higher, and they're just not a consistent enough hockey team.
Buster in the Nasty Chat says he looks good in regard to Connor Ingram. Sorry, thank you. He says he looks good, but he's not any better than Skinner was either. And listen, like, Stu is 5-0-2 now after that shootout loss at MSG today. Fair point, Buster, but like Stu was in such a mental pretzel here, and we heard. I was told. I reported it. Both Jari and Stu wanted a change of scenery, and that's a huge part of goaltending. You were a goalie for a long time professionally in the NHL. How much of it is mental? Probably a great chunk of it.
Yeah.
But did you have something you want to chime in on?
And I think probably a lot of people will say, well, with that first one, how he can't let that in. And he loses his stick. He makes a couple good saves before that. But, you can't, with a regroup in the neutral zone with 5 guys, you can't have them just re-attack right away. Like Connor McDavid standing right beside Celebrini at that point. Like, you have to kind of read the play. Oh, their defenseman has the puck. What am I doing? I'm just, again, puck watching, looking to see what happens. All of a sudden, quick play up, goes back the other way. That should be picked off. That pass shouldn't even be available at that point.
Yeah.
The forecheck should be on that.
I looked at you right away, and I was like, what the hell? Because I just caught the tail end of it, and you said that regroup, and the neutral zone play was awful on that one.
Tommy, it was a neutral zone regroup to a 3-on-2. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. That can't happen. Mm-hmm. That cannot happen. That's laziness going through the neutral zone.
Okay, Big Dave, and actually SJ's in the Kootenays got back. SJ in the Kootenays, thank you, sir. I got a good chuckle. I appreciate your text, and I'm going to read it. Big Dave says, Tommy, if you don't have at least 2 restraining orders against 2 Oilers and their families and pending charges from another, are you even an Oilers reporter? And then Big Dave says, Oilers fans are nuts. They're very passionate, Big Dave. They're very passionate. And yes, that's a good text. And SJ in the Kootenays, this is a little bit of comic relief, by the way, if you haven't caught on. So SJ in the Kootenays, we're talking about Darnell Nurse and the birth of the 3rd child, I believe. And Gage and I were kind of talking about that stressful and this and that, and I'm like, did he travel? Did he what the hell happened? And SJ in the Kootenays earlier was like, what are you talking about? He didn't even go to the birth. And then I was like, I'm sorry, I don't follow these guys on Instagram, and I don't follow the Wags. I don't know what the hell is going on the social media side. Are they having a kid? That's great. And then SJ in the Kootenays says, trust me, with the follow-up. Everyone watching with their wife heard about it. Touche.
Right.
Yeah, good point. That is so. They're dialed in, like the bubble around the team. Like I was dating, like my ex knew everything that was going on. I'm like, how do you know that? She's like, how do you not know this girlfriend? I'm like, because I don't care.
Yeah.
What did he do on the ice today? Did he practice? Was he like what? Like, no, but the wife, she was shopping for this, and they're getting a new place. And I'm like,
awesome.
I don't care.
Good for them.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, Dave, great text, Big Dave. And then SJ, thank you. Appreciate that comedic relief. Okay, we're going to get to the Advanced Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy turning point of the game from tonight. Listen, it's going to be pretty straightforward here. So, Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy, proud partner of the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pre- and post-game show. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You have a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker approach trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sport Medicine. Book your assessment today at www.advantagesportmed.ca or call 780-460-9977. I'm just going to go to the game-winning goal because, I mean, the Oilers, they clawed their way back. I like the Wallman goal. He did have tough moments with the puck defensively. Him and Nurse were a mess. Yes. Scored a nice goal. Good offensive instincts, Joaquin.
Well, you saw Nurse jumping in the play too.
Yeah.
All night. Like the instincts were there, but it's puzzling. It's puzzling to me that anticipation is always on the offense. It's always puck watching on the defensive side.
Well, here's a defenseman that got the game-winning goal for the San Jose Sharks, and this is the turning point. Brought to you by Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy. It's Shakir Mukhamadullin, his 4th goal of the season from Eklund and Misa at 9:27. And I looked at you and you're like, he didn't even see it.
No.
He didn't even see it.
Again, just giving up real estate too.
Yeah, that is your turning point of the game. If you're dealing with some injuries or ailments and you want to get fixed up, go see the great crew over at Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy. Book that assessment, www.advantagesportmed.ca, or call them at 780-460-9977. Benny, do you want to get to the player of the game?
Of course I do.
All right, lay it on us, brother.
The Damon Bunting player of the game. Damon Bunting has been a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find the right home or make the move from your current home, community-driven. He understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out on DamonBunting.com or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Player of the game. I tried giving to this guy Thursday night, but I am not wrong. I was just early. Trent Frederick scores his first goal since November 20th. From the break, we've seen it. He got some extra ice time Thursday. Today, I don't think he played a whole lot, but they did, when they changed around that second line and threw Podkolzin and the captain with Draisaitl, they gave Frederick the third-line center role with Savoy and Roslovic. He ends up being a benefit off of Savoy playing some of his best hockey of the year. Great feed from him. But Frederick, 12:38, pretty solid. It's a little higher numbers what he was usually playing. Gets his first goal since November 20th. His game has started to take a turn, which is nice to see. Hopefully that continues throughout the rest of the season. And if this team makes playoffs, I mean, he's got to be a big factor. on a playoff run for this team if they want to go far. A guy like him, when he's playing at his best, is a very valuable piece to a team. And so I think he's working his way there. So Trent Frederick, first goal since November 20th. He's got to get it.
Nice. Good to see him score. Listen, I know we've mocked him, and he's taken a lot of criticism for good reason, but nice goal tonight. And you and I talked about Matt Savoy. We know how much Benny loves Matt Savoy because they played hockey together growing up. But here's another thing. I know we talk about the management team, Stan Bowman and Jeff Jackson. What have they done good? And so few hits compared to misses. The trade, I know right now maybe still looks more in favor of Buffalo with Brian McLeod having the season that he is having, but he's a little bit older than Matt Savoy. But I think that Matt Savoy is going to turn into a good pickup for the Oilers and one of the better moves that this management team has made.
If the eye test alone for me, Tommy, and I know McLeod's having a pretty good season this year, the eye test for me was Savoy that he's a player.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a little bit of growing pains, but like I said, I think that this little stint, he's realized that I belong as a regular NHL player. And I think you're going to see a little bit more confidence and probably a little bit more on the offensive side with point production that you'll see for this last 20 games.
That has to be a good feeling.
Yeah.
Has to be. Okay, Dave Pagnotta, our Hello Hockey insider from the Fourth Period NHL Network, is texting myself and Belzy right now. Just a quick update for Oiler fans out there. Maybe you're reading Twitter and seeing what's going on as we get set for the trade deadline. Dave texted this to Belzy and I just 2 minutes ago. Said there's some Twitter account saying Henrique told the Oilers last night that he would waive his no movement clause. It is not true. 100% he has not told the team that. He said that it is bull. That is from David Pagnotta in regard to a report saying that Adam Henrique has told the Oilers he would waive his no movement clause. So just passing that along from Dave. I said we'd read it at the end of the post-game show and getting that out there for you. Talk amongst yourselves. You get that one.
I do.
All right, let's see if we got any more texts that have come in. Coach Mike says, back to Ingram on Tuesday. Is it his net for the time being?
Yep. Definitely. You want him to build that confidence, that knowing that the coach, even with a 5 spot, because I guarantee Ingram's I played well tonight. I made some really good saves. But you lost and you allowed 5.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Yeah.
But Nabla, I think it would be a mistake to go back to Jari at this point. I think you've got something with Ingram. I think he provides a style of goaltending with a very fragile, defensive, structured team that's better suited than Jari right now.
Shaggy and St. Albert. Coffee talk. Benny.
Clipped.
I'm clipped. Benny, we're going to the Ottawa Senators on Tuesday. Quick thoughts as we get set to wrap here.
Yeah, no more time to screw around, obviously. I mean, that's been the theme of this road trip. It's you're not secured in a playoff spot. The final game before the trade deadline, very curious if they are taking that game as a final, okay, we'll look at this and reevaluate where our team is after. I think you know what you got, but I don't know. I'm not management. Again, man, every game is important basically the rest of the way. It's a tight division. You're lucky that teams haven't ran away with it. So there's that. But at the same time, though, it's so condensed that if you have a bad stretch, that you can be out of a playoff spot pretty quickly. So, I hope there's some desperation on Tuesday against Ottawa. You're back home finally. I hope they come rested and ready to go.
Nice, Benny. Gager, any final thoughts?
Let's. I think from the Oilers, we mentioned some good things. Savoy, Frederick, maybe has turned a corner.
Hopefully.
I do believe that the Oilers have a number 1 goaltender. Now it's time to kind of drop the hammer and start stringing some games together and get ready for what you hope is a long playoff run.
19 left to go. A lot of work to be done. Clean up that defensive game. Oh, they're scoring goals, but they're allowing so very many. We'll see if they can mitigate that on Tuesday against the Ottawa Senators. Joaquin, thank you for doing this. Thank you for coming in to BP.
Yeah, it's great.
You're a very popular guy. You're a very busy guy.
You too, man.
You're excellent at what you do, and we appreciate you. That's going to do it for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Thank you to Tony, Mariah, Cindy, the wonderful staff here at BP 170th. Thank you to all the nasties who turned out today. That was awesome. So good to see everyone. I know a lot of people are down in Mexico. Nobody knows who puked. The Eric post, I asked him. He says, it's a mystery. It's like Clue. The boys are back on Monday. Lots to talk about as we are well into the stretch drive and the trade deadline coming up on Friday. For Gager and Benny, I'm Tommy saying have yourselves a wonderful rest of your weekend. Thanks for being with us. Ciao for now.